Harry Kane is at risk of becoming the best player in recent history, at least, to win absolutely nothing. Kane scored 2 goals against Everton to become the seventh highest Premier League scorer of all time, but that isn't so much of a compliment once you consider the fact that Harry Kane is actually the only player amongst the top 7 scorers in the Premier League to not have a Premier League title. And furthermore, he is the only player in the top 10 to not have a trophy at all. Kane is now at a stage in his career where he has to decide whether he wants to be a Michael Owen or a Robin van Persie, or he would rather be a Francesco Totti or tissier. And that's a tough decision to make. It might be easy for everyone who isn't him, who doesn't have his perspective, who isn't familiar with all that entails being a superstar. But in his case, I think he has a very difficult decision to make, because if you look at the first 2 players I mentioned, Robin van Persie was at Arsenal until 2012, if I'm not wrong. And up until that point, he had been very committed. He had started scoring a lot of goals. He had started being a major contributor to the team. He was the captain by the time he was bought by Manchester United. And even though that means that by the time that he left Arsenal for United and basically followed success over quote-unquote loyalty, he ruined his relationship with the fans and never really attained the same level of adulation, adoration, and appreciation that he would have gotten if he had stayed at Arsenal, that he eventually got at Man United. And that's a tough place to be in, because if you're Harry Kane, if I'm not wrong, Kane is 29 years old or 28, but either way, he's approaching his 30s. He hasn't won anything. His best shot at a trophy is going to be the League Cup final against Man City. And even in the event that they do win that, would you really say that's a fitting crowning achievement for a player as good as Harry Kane? So at this moment in time, he has 2 possible pathways that lie ahead of him. And the other one, in contrast to the Van Persie or Michael Owen sort of route, is for him to stay at Spurs, try to win a title, and solidify his legend there. But if you were to ask me, I would say that his chances of winning a trophy are very slim now at Tottenham. I would say the opportunity to win a title or a trophy of any sort with Tottenham passed about 3 years ago with Pochettino. So he would essentially be betting on a very good manager coming in, because I don't think Mourinho is that person. Not right now, and not for the state that Tottenham is in. A very good manager coming in, a very big transfer window or a couple of transfer windows for the club, and everything really coming together like it came together for Leicester when they won the league in 2016. Because at this moment in time, Harry Kane is just not going to win a title with Spurs. And even with England, the chances of him winning the Euros are not slim, but they're not necessarily favorites. So it will be interesting to see over the next few months, and if not months, over the next year, whether Harry Kane really decides to solidify his name at the club or goes for glory, which I think many Tottenham fans could not even be upset at him for, because he's been very loyal to the club. He's not even earning the sort of wages that would be befitting of the club captain of arguably the best player in the league. So you couldn't really hate him for going to another club that is more ambitious than Tottenham. But those are just my thoughts on Harry Kane. If I were him personally, I think I would make the move in the most amicable way. But what would you do if you're him? He's got about 3 to 4 years of being an elite player, and there's definitely no shortage of clubs that would be very willing and very ready to pay the money for him. So what would you do?